I hope I don't get virtually jumped for what I'm about to say, but the genetics police is starting to affect my mental health. So many naturals will never even know their hair's potential because they're giving genetics too much credit. We have a hair growth cycle. And part of this hair growth cycle is called the anagen phase, and that is the phase where your hair is actively growing. This phase can last anywhere from 3 to 6 years, and it basically determines how long your hair can be. This part of the hair growth cycle is genetics. I acknowledge that. I'll give you that. However, there are several, countless things that you can do. Not genetics, not anybody else, not what your mom did when you were in 9th grade, not what your mom did when you were in 3rd grade. There are things that you can do that will shorten the length of this phase and therefore not allow your hair to reach the potential length that it could. So the first reason that your hair might not be reaching the potential length that it could is because of scalp inflammation. When you have inflammation around your follicles, it sends a signal that stops your hair from growing and signals it to start shedding. Causes of this inflammation on the scalp could be product buildup, whether that's oils, products, or dead skin cells on your scalp, not washing often enough, fungal overgrowth like dandruff, or products that just don't agree with your scalp and cause irritation. The best way to fix this is to wash your hair every 7 to 14 days, and if you have a scalp condition, try your best to treat it and use gentle products. A lot of us have been taught that washing your hair every single week will make it dry or is just not good for natural hair, and that just is not the case. It's actually quite the opposite, and I find that if you are washing your hair every 7 days and it is dry, it's usually because you're not retaining moisture during the week and not so much because of how often you're washing your hair. If you do find that your hair is dry by day 2, try using Capri's leave-in conditioner. This product helps slow water evaporation from your hair, which means you'll retain moisture longer without needing to reapply any product. Because what happens is water is in your hair, but it slowly starts to evaporate. You know, water evaporates. If you leave a cup of water on the counter, eventually it's going to evaporate, and the same thing happens in your hair. So sealing in that water with a leave-in conditioner of good quality is going to help your hair retain moisture all week. The second reason your hair might not reach the length that it could is because of poor blood flow circulation to your scalp. Your follicles need nutrients and oxygen, and when they don't get the circulation they need, they don't have the support they need. This isn't something that's going to stop your hair from growing, but it can shorten your hair growth phase, and it does affect the health of the hair that you are growing. Third reason is nutrient deficiencies. Some of the nutrients your body needs for proper hair growth are iron, protein, zinc, B vitamins, and vitamin D. And when your body does not have enough of these nutrients, it can push your hair out of the anagen phase. And remember, the anagen phase is that active hair growth phase that we talked about earlier. I also just want to remind you that when you are massaging your scalp, obviously the blood that's in your body is going to your scalp. So if you don't have nutrients in your blood, that's going to affect your hair health. So if you have Popeyes in your blood, that's going to directly affect your hair. The fourth reason and probably the most common reason is high or chronic stress. Stress can and often does shift your hair from the anagen phase, which is the active growth phase, to the telogen phase, which is the shedding phase. And this is so common and widely experienced that it has a name, and it's called telogen effluvium. It is a temporary form of hair loss that causes excessive shedding, and it's usually triggered by physical or emotional stress. And the crazy kind of scary part about it is you usually won't see the effects of it until about 3 months after the trigger takes place. So if something happens to you today that is just so stressful and you're stressed from today onward, your hair might be fine today, it might be fine tomorrow, it might be fine next week, but 3 months from now, you'll probably see those effects of constantly being stressed all the time. The good news is it does self-correct, it's not permanent, and it usually takes about 6 to 12 months for that to take place. And the unfortunate part about it is so many things can cause stress. It could be a job loss, having a child, not having boundaries in your life. You could be someone who gets stressed out easily and just suffer from that stress more often than other people. And like I said, the good news is it's temporary, but sometimes the bad news is you can't always just get rid of the thing that is stressing you out. The fifth reason is hormonal imbalances such as thyroid issues or androgen sensitivity. These imbalances disrupt the hair cycle and shorten the growth phase. I'm not so sure why seeing hair growth is so triggering for certain people and why the first response has to be genetics, especially when someone has documented having short hair for a very long time and they're telling you the changes that they made to get to long hair. A lot of naturals, it could be you, have the potential to have that long hair and have a really long and healthy hair growth phase, but they will never get the opportunity to see that because they are giving genetics all the credit and not really stepping into responsibility for their part in their hair health. If you want free tips on how to take care of and manage your hair so you can get it to its full potential, click the link below to join my email list where I'm going to give you so many tips and share what I'm personally doing in my own hair care journey. I hope this video was helpful and I will see you in the next one.